Hey guys, Tyler here with Calculated Kinetics talking about the MMP to ACRO dog tag. So, one of the things for us with the dog tag is that we have to evolve and change. And the reason why we have to do that typically is for duty holsters. And I'll put a snippet in at the end of this video that shows it in the Safariland series holsters. Can't speak on the other ones. I know that, Alien Gear is making some changes, but primarily most of you guys run in Safariland, so that's kind of what we're going to address. But back to the dog tag. So the dog tag evolves quite a bit, and it evolves because of those duty holsters, but we want to make it as effective as possible. So ideally, if we can make a perfect dog tag, it would go all the way to the back of the chamber wall and help just get rid of that carbon. Maybe not all together, but be an effective rate of high 90s, if you will. So if you look right here, this is going to be the original dog tag on the left, and there's really not much of a difference when you actually look at them. But there is, if we can show this, there is a difference in how far that dog tag protrudes forward. And so the one on top up here is going to be the original one. The one on bottom is going to be the newer dog tag. We're able to do that because they made changes in the Safariland holsters to accommodate larger, longer optics like the SRO, RMR, HD, and any optic that really protrudes forward. So doing that really helped us and allowed us to modify the dog tag. We would, like I said, love to go farther, but this is about it. So we just went and tested these. I put them on competitor slides because I wanted the control group, very, very similar. So we even used the same lower barrel, same ammo, just some good old Blazer 115, primarily because it gets a little nastier. And so competitor slide, really the only difference between them is just the color of the slides. So when you notice on the first one, 170 rounds, and you guys that are shooting these without a dog tag know it wouldn't look like this. It would look 10 times worse like this. So on this dog tag, and when I say an effective percentage, I'm spitballing it. We're not like taking samples on the glass and saying, oh, it's 67.7%. No, it's just roughly what we think that it's reducing it. So I would say that the ACRO one, and for this control group, before I get too far too, we used the competitor slides also because they both have the full open loaded chamber indicator. On the newer ones, I don't have it right here on the table, the like metal carry comp, and I think even the new MP 2.0s, it's only half. So it basically would look like this. So that's going to reduce it altogether anyway. But now, so these have the full loaded chamber indicator, the full circle, full diameter circle. So that's going to really get it the most dirty out of any of the guns that they have. And obviously they're older MP 2.0. So this is, like I said, our original one. We even took the original dog tag that we first made and tested with it out there as a sample group, cleaned it up really good. And you can see on the front of the lens here, it's pretty littered. Let's see if I can get the right angle. I'll just move around. You guys can see how much, and we'll do it on the video here. I'm just gonna wipe my finger on it. I'll go right down the center. You see that perfect line. So definitely getting a reduction. If you guys aren't shooting the dog tag, you know that you're not getting, I think we did 170 rounds on each. You're not getting that out of 170 rounds. You're getting occluded is what you're getting. So effective rate, I don't know. I'd probably say this one's around the 60, 65%. But as you can see, where I wipe my finger, it did do a pretty good job. So you can also see where the carbon hits it. And I don't know, knock my stand there. I don't know how the actual pattern and the aerodynamics of the carbon coming out of there hits, but that's a very localized spot where it hits. And so our thought process, if the holster allows room for it, let's bring this dog tag forward. And that's exactly what we did on these newer ones that we're going to have out here in a few weeks. And so we push it forward. I don't know, like I said, why it's so localized on the other one versus not on here. But I would say that this is going to give you probably a good closer to 80%. So same thing, 170 rounds, side-by-side comparison of the glass at its thickest point, probably more like the 75 to 80% effective. But, you know, I think the biggest thing is not having to wipe it so much. You can see out of there perfectly fine. Like I said, you guys know, UMP shooters know that if you're running just you can really see that line right here. If you're running just a plate and no dog tag, you're not going to get that at all. And so this is the new one. It pushes out a little bit more. Now, one of the, I don't want to say issues, but to be able to run this, you have to have a holster, and I'll talk about it. I'm going to splice in another video because I'm going to take it off of this slide and put it on a different MMP so I can show you guys in the holster. But it has to be manufactured after a certain date, and I'll like I said, I'll splice that in. But we're not mad about the outcome. We definitely think it's better. It definitely looks like the pattern is on the right-hand side when you're shooting it, right-hand side of the Optic. So I didn't wipe my finger on it, but I'll go ahead, instead of going up and down, I'm going to wipe my finger on the top half. And that's where I think most of it is going to be hitting up in this localized area. And so if I put that on there, we should get a definitive line, and you guys can see it with that black background. Sorry, those lights are pretty crazy. Let's see if we can put this behind it. Help a little bit, but you guys can see roughly what it stopped. Now, once again, this is 170 rounds, and so don't mind my fingerprint smudge. But 170 rounds, you know, that's pretty impressive. Pretty good reduction rate. I'd give it, like I said, 75, 80% with that dog tag, but that's what it is. That's what we got. We hope that you guys like it. You know, it really sucks too. Every time we change our equipment and put something out there, we're going to change the M&P to Defender. That is a pretty good difference when you put them like that. Especially see how nasty it is up in this corner. I would say giving it another 10 to 15% of effectiveness. But like I was saying, we're going to change our M&P to Defender XLs because Defender XL, a lot of it has to do with the optic, and when that slide reciprocates, how is that optic affecting the air that comes around it? And while I'm here, I'll just talk about it real quick because I have one handy. So this optic kind of encapsulates all that carbon, which makes it stick on there even more. So we're going to push that dog tag out, kind of like what we did with this one. See if we can't get it to be a little bit more effective. And then that one, we can probably even go a little bit further, and we'll probably even machine in a pocket right here. And that's because it doesn't need to go in a duty holster. We did have an agency on the original one where we put an EFLX. They were asking for a quote for EFLX, and it does take the same plate, so that's why we did that. But our next go around on those, we're going to change it. But that's what you get, you guys. We're always trying to evolve and adapt and change. We can't expect a holster company to change their, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 mold to accommodate our plate. I think that our name is becoming more and more relevant and a little bit more popular in the industry, especially on the M&P and agencies going that route. So we definitely have the attention of some of these larger holster manufacturers. So hopefully we'll see some changes where it's just like, the dog tag can basically go all parallel with the back of the chamber wall is ultimately what we'd like to do, especially on the platforms that have these little chamber indicators on top like the M&P, so that you guys there's just absolutely no carbon on there, or, like I said, high 90s, 95 to 100% effectiveness. So that's it. We're going to try and get these bad boys out for 4th of July sale, and we're working on them. We already started machining them, but comment below. Let me know if you guys are running this setup. Let me know if you're not running this setup, what setup you are running, what you guys would like to see, even changes with current plates. I'm not going to promise anybody that we're going to go and make the changes immediately. It might be after, we make a couple more. We are going to try and make some of the old style. And the only reason why I want to do that is because a lot of people still haven't gotten new holsters. So it's got to be able to fit in them, and this one just wouldn't fit in the old style. So they're going to have a mix of them. I think the first couple hundred we're going to do are going to be the new style, and we'll figure out a way to annotate that on the website. But I'm going to splice in this video of it fitting in the holster, and you guys let me know what you think. All right, you guys, part 2 of the new M&P ACRO, or updated, not really new, just a little update, extend that dog tag. We're going to put it in a holster here and show you what we got going. So I'll make sure the weapon's clear. You guys can see no brass, no ammo. So we modified these holsters, so excuse me, so that you guys can see in them. Sorry, Safari Land, but got to do it for research and development. So we push this dog tag out towards the loaded chamber indicator, help reduce that carbon buildup. This one's probably in the ballpark, 75–80% effectiveness. But this is going to be the newer, this is the 6360. But as you guys can see, and I'm going to back this out just a little bit, it's getting caught up on, pointer here, getting caught up right here. Now, the holster works by catching on the ejection port. Why there's all that extra space, I don't know. But I do know that if you guys modify that and we make a bigger dog tag, it's going to void your warranty, and we don't want to do that. So we got to play ball with them. But fits right up in there, no issues. You know, this is plastic and it's a mold, so there'll be some variances. So when you guys get this, it might be just right, you know, at the edge. Do me a favor, unload it, clear it, and just slam it in your holster a few times. So like I said, this is the, take this off here. This is the 6360. This seems to be the most common that you guys are using. We have the X300 light, but you'll see on these holsters, this is how you know if it's going to fit or not. I don't know 100%, but based on testing holsters and other people testing for us that have access to a lot of them, I believe this means the 51st week of 2024. So as long as it is 51st week of 2024 and later, this is for the M&P. I can't speak to other ones. This new updated dog tag should fit in there. We tried one that said 50 of 2024, and it just didn't work. So, you know, if you have the ability to pick, say you're at a law enforcement supply place or something like that, get one that's 51 2024 or later. I think that if you order one on Safari Land, it's going to come new and updated. And I also think that if you select the model, even though this is an ACRO that's in there, excuse me, Aimpoint ACRO that's in there, you may need the select the SRO. I don't know if there's a difference in the actual body of it, but it does fit in there, and that's it. So we just want to show you that. Want to show you why we made that change, because the holster companies made the change. So like I said, it's evolving. We're trying to get in, talk to Safari Land, and give them some of our plates and show them really what our goal is and how can they help us accomplish, make the best product by simply modifying theirs. Like I said, though, to modify one of these, it's a pretty substantial amount of money. And so I don't expect the changes to occur overnight, but hopefully we can talk to the powers that be, the right people there, and allow for those longer dog tags, make it more effective. So like I said before, comment below. Let me know if you're running this. Let me know if you want to run this. Let me know what you guys are looking for, what you need. We are working on getting out new products daily. Right now, we are pretty busy with law enforcement orders, law enforcement seasons happening here right around the corner where everyone gets their budgets. So we're trying to keep up with your guys' demand, and while I got you here, and speaking of demand, thank you guys. I don't think that Jason and myself ever, you know, imagined that it would get to this level. So thank you. Bear with us. We're a small business. We're trying to make it happen. We love all you guys. Take care.